Aloha! I'm back with Happy Hips Part 2. So we're going to come to tabletop position on our mat on all fours, hips over the knees, shoulders over the wrists. Spread your fingers wide open and press into your fingertips, engaging your arms, and we'll just warm up with 10 cat-cows. Exhale, navel to spine, rounding your back, stretching between your shoulder blades. Deep breath in. Gently tilting the tailbone, and not so much the neck, but think of tilting forward with the heart center. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. I skipped these this morning because I felt really dizzy when I was doing them, so I stopped. And it's a good reminder for those type A personalities like me, when something doesn't feel right as far as physical movement or exercise, just don't do it. These for some reason made me feel really dizzy, so I just skipped them, but now I feel good, so now I get to enjoy them. Gentle breath. Inhale, soften between the shoulder blades. Exhale, round under. Let's do 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Stretch to child's. And then come back up to tabletop. So we're going to bring the knees a little closer. And we're going to add the right leg. So you're going to bring your right leg back and up. And we're just going to lift it up and down 10 times, squeezing the glutes. So warm up the hamstring and the glutes. And then we're going to add this leg on with our cat-cows. So same thing we just did, just adding the right leg. So exhale, nose towards your knee. Inhale, extend up. Exhale. Six, 7. When you exhale, navel to spine. 8. 2 more. 9. And 10. Good. And now release. Now what we're going to do is, I'm just going to turn and face you so you can see me better. Is that same leg, we're going to keep it bent and we're going to do some knee circles. So I want you to circle 10 times around this way. Now notice my knee is not getting really that high, and I want to open it above my hip joint. So the hip is a little sore, and I'm noticing it. I want you to really open it up if you can. So open up that knee. So I'm going to show you from the side. Woo! 8, 9, 10. And we're going to do 10 the other direction. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Now your buns should be burning. Now bring your legs straight out to the side. And what you're going to do is just shift your hips over about an inch or two the other direction. And then scoot your leg up as high as you can. Maybe you can align it with this hand. Maybe, maybe not. And then we're going to do 10 lifts from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, a little higher, 8, 2 more, 9, 10. Ow. Okay, keep your leg out to the side, and then you're going to stretch back to child's pose. This should feel like a nice stretch in the adductors, inner thigh, and the hips. So this sequence is about strengthening a little bit more than the first sequence, but it's still keeping the flexibility because the movements that we're doing is going to keep our hips open. Our hips are the only joint in our body that's a ball and socket joint, so we need to do circular movements to strengthen and keep the flexibility in all directions. Let's take one more deep breath here. Okay. Ooh. And now we're going to go to the other side. Let me turn around. So left leg, you're going to bring it straight back. Now, if it's bothering your wrist to be on your hands flat like this, you can always shift to your fists. But if you're going to do one fist, you have to do both, okay? And make sure they're facing in toward you. Bring your left leg back. Exhale. Inhale. Two more. Notice I'm breathing with every movement. Last one. And release. Going into those knee circles 10 times. So open up the knee. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try to get it higher. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The other direction. 10, 9. Oh, your hips are saying thank you. 8, 7. Thank you so much. 6, 5, 4. A little bit open. 3, 2, and 1. Bring your leg out to the side. Scoot your hands over the other direction. An inch or 2. Bring it forward. 10 lifts. Ready? 1. Flex your foot. 2. As high as you can. 3. This is working. 4. The abductors. 5. The outer part of the hips. 6. The gluteus medius. 7. The muscles that get weak. 8. And we never use them. 9. And 10. Now you get to enjoy the stretch. Take child's pose and stretch. Breathe. And don't worry, those never get easier. Okay, now we're going to do frog pose. And this is for the adductors, inner thighs, and hips. So you're going to bring your knees as wide as you can. If you're home, if you have sensitive knees, you can double up your yoga mat or put a rug or something underneath you. You're going to bring your knees as wide as you can, and I'm going to flex my feet in the back. So let me just show you what my feet are going to be flexed, and the inside insoles of my feet are going to be on the ground, okay? Like that. Now, some of you, this might be as far as you can go. You have to listen to your own body. And this is one of those poses where, as you surrender and relax a little bit more, your hips will be able to open a little bit more. You can drop down to your elbows and say a prayer. Now that you're on your knees, it's a good time to pray. Okay. God, please get me out of here. I know that's what you're saying. No, but it kind of feels good, right? Now, if you're super flexy, you can always drop down to your chest. Oh, ow. Okay. Normally this feels good, but I'm very sore and tight. Okay, and if you have any knee issues going on and it bothers your knees at all, what do I suggest? Don't do it. You can always ask me for an alternative. There's a gazillion million things you can do. You don't have to hurt yourself. And we're going to stay for a couple more breaths. I'm going to come back to my elbows. Let's take 2 more deep breaths. Now, you can push your hips back and you feel all different stretch. Some people feel that more, and some people like to come forward, but I like to push back a little bit, not too much, but I feel it more if I shift my hips back. 1 more big breath. Okay, now we're going to slide the knees together Yep. And just kneel for a minute in Virasana. So I'm tucking my toes under, sitting on my heels to stretch that big tendon at the bottoms of our feet. This is good if you have plantar fasciitis. And just breathe. How is that? Good? All right. So now, what we're going to do is, we're going to go into up dog, down dog, and then pigeon pose. All right. So I'm just making this up today. I didn't really know what I was going to do so much. I was like, all right, let's just feel it out. So from downward dog, you're going to roll up to your toes, and then you're going to bring your hips forward and down. So it's going to be like this. So my legs are off the ground. My shoulders are still over my wrists. I'm just kind of swaying my hips a little bit side to side to release my back. And then you're going to roll like a wave back to downward dog. So you can do as many as you want when you're home. We're going to just do about 5 of these together, but I usually like to do about 10 of these. Sometimes I'll do 20. Connect your breath with the movement. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. We're going to do 2 more. Then we're going to bring the feet a little closer, and we're going to raise the right leg back and up. Stretch, and we're going to fold it forward for pigeon pose. So you're going to bring your knee right behind my wrist, the wrist here, the right wrist. And if you want to get more stretch in your hips, you're going to scoot this foot forward more, or just keep it right where it is. Slide this leg back. Pigeon pose. So before we go down and drop down, I want you to reach up. I want you to bring energy and strength into your hips and reach the arms up and stretch back, up and back. So it's a little bit of a back bend. We're going to hold this and breathe. I suggest holding for about 30 seconds. You can also do this if you want to stretch your shoulders. Good. And then after 30-second hold, you're going to drop down if you can to your elbows. Right? And if you're feeling really flexy, you can drop all the way down here. Okay, now again, if you have any knee issues or if this hurts your knee, don't do it. Please just send me a comment and I will give you an alternative. What I like to do is add in a quad stretch because my quads are the tightest part of my body. My quads and my psoas. So you can either walk your hands up and reach back for your foot this way. It's a nice stretch. Or if you have a yoga strap and you can't reach your foot, well, you'd have to kind of get it around your foot first, but you can always use a strap or a towel to grab your foot. The other option, if you're able to come down on your elbows and be comfortable here, is you can add a twist. So the wind just picked up, so you'd come onto this elbow, turn your chest open, which is going to give you a lot more stretch in the outer hip here, and then you can reach this arm back and reach for your foot. This is such a nice stretch because you're getting your glutes, your hamstrings, your quads. You're getting a spinal twist, maybe a little bit in your shoulder. And just hold this and breathe. And release it. And we're going to come back to downward dog. Stretch it out. Bend your legs. Do whatever feels good. Get the blood flow back. And we're going to do 2 up dog, down dogs in between sides. So breathe in. Roll your hips forward. Drop them down. Sway a little bit. Help release the lower back. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Scoot your feet a little closer. And then inhale. Raise the left leg up. Stretch. Feels so good. Fold it forward for pigeon. Try to get your knee right behind the wrist. Slide the other leg back. Before we drop down, I want you to reach up. So you're going to walk your hands back. use the strength in your core and then your hips to lift your arms up and back. Breathe. This side is really a little tender on me, so it's more challenging. I can feel my body shaking. Whew. Get the foot down or up, doesn't matter. And then drop down into your elbows. Let's try the different stretches on the side. So you can either come up for your foot this way to get the quad. This feels really good. Or if you're a little bit more flexible, you're able to come down into your elbow and add that twist. Turn the heart open first, and then just reach your arm back. This way you're not jacking your shoulder trying to reach for your foot. I don't want you to hurt yourself while you're trying to heal yourself. It's counterproductive. How's that feel? I feel like I could stay here all day. So good. Good. And we're going to end this hip sequence by just going to come up and swing the back leg around. You can go into a modified turtle pose. So that I teach this a little differently. This is not Baddha Konasana. Baddha Konasana is when you bring the soles of your feet up into your pubic bone. We're going to keep the feet away from us like a diamond. This. Yeah. So the knees can drop, and as you look down, it's more of a diamond shape. I like to bring my arms behind me and then just round your back like the whole new turtle with its little shell. I'm just going to start to, as you exhale, drop down a little bit more and sink into the pose. This is a really great pose for your hips and your lower back. I keep my arms behind me to guarantee I won't scrunch my shoulders to my ears. It just feels good. I'm going to stay here you can stay as long as you want. I'm just going to stay for a couple more breaths with you. And that is my hip sequence. Part 2, I will add another one, but this is the next level to the first one. And like I said, just please listen to your body. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. Aloha.
The soul fire in me, I give to you. Aho. To learn more about my offerings, visit my website at igniteyoursoulfire.com. Please subscribe to my channel and comment below, my soul family. Thank you for being here on our precious planet Gaia at this time. Your light matters. You matter. You make a difference in the world by just being you. Ahuiho. Until our hearts meet again. You are loved.